Today I want to talk some more about vague pronoun references. So let's have a look at an original sample of student writing and see if we can't spot any vague pronoun references, and then we'll work on revising the sentence and seeing if we can't eliminate them. So we begin. Holden is having a hard time keeping himself together after what happened to his brother, and this is what is holding him back in school. Well, I immediately spot two vague pronoun references in this area of the sentence. The first is the word this, and I'm really not sure what this is referring to. I'm going to have to inspect the sentence a little more closely, but right now it's not linked to a clear antecedent. The last noun that's mentioned is brother, and I don't think his brother is holding him back in school. And then the second is this pronoun him. I'm not sure who the him is referring to. Could be referring to the brother, but it could also be referring to Holden. So anyone who's read the book Catcher in the Rye is going to have a little more insight and have a better sense of what the writer is trying to convey here, but you shouldn't necessarily have to have background knowledge to understand what a writer is trying to convey. You as a writer really want to convey your information as clearly and directly as possible so that people don't have to rely on figuring out or interpreting what you might be trying to say. So I think to make this sentence less ambiguous, not only do we need to replace the vague pronouns with proper nouns or nouns, but we also might need to do some restructuring so that things flow better. So I think the thing to do is to take this idea about after what happened to his brother and move that to the beginning of the sentence. So let's control and copy. And so there we begin with after what happened to, and let's be specific since we are talking about a character named Holden. After what happened to Holden's brother, and then I think we need to specify that it's Holden who is having a hard time keeping himself together. And furthermore, it is his loss, right? If we've read Catcher in the Rye, we know that Holden's brother dies early in the book, and this produces all kinds of complications and emotional issues for Holden. So Holden is having a hard time keeping himself together, and this loss is what is holding him back in school. Now, you may be wondering how suddenly this is no longer a vague pronoun. If you look back to earlier in the sentence, the last proper noun that was mentioned is in fact Holden and not his brother, because we reorganized the sentence and we put the brother in the beginning of the sentence. So let's just read through once more for clarity's sake and make sure we don't have any vagueness. So we begin. After what happened to Holden's brother, Holden is having a hard time keeping himself together, and this loss is what is holding him back in school. Him, again, being Holden. There's no ambiguity there. Just pop a comma in here since we have a compound sentence, and I think we're good to go.